Coming off of a thrilling overtime loss to the Toronto Raptors on Friday night, the Dallas Mavericks entered the Barclays Center in preparation for their matchup with the Brooklyn Nets on Saturday without the services of few key players. As a short-handed bunch, the Mavs still put up a resilient fight against the equally lowly Nets, but would ultimately fall in a battle of bottom feeders 114-106, dropping them to 22-48 on the and the Mavs got a little more short-handed, in a scary way, when Dennis Smith Jr. went down. To say the Mavs were hopelessly or hilariously outgunned in this matchup would be far from the truth, even without stalwarts like J.J. Barea and Harrison Barnes in the lineup. The fact is, Dallas could have very easily won this contest had some unfortunate or maybe fortunate, depending on what side of the tanking fence you sit on, circumstances occurred in the final minutes of the contest. Dennis Smith Jr. appears to step on Dinwiddie's foot and he goes down with an injury. He left the game shortly after. pic.twitter.com/Jom5MQCR, DefPenHoops at DefPenHoops, March 18, 2018. One specific circumstance involved a cornerstone of the Mavs' future in Dennis Smith Jr. It reared its ugly head late in the second half, when Smith fell victim to a nasty-looking left ankle sprain. Smith, who at the time had 21 points and 5 assists on 9 of 17 shooting, would leave the game following the injury, and would return to action. Without him in the lineup, the Mavericks' offense came to a sputtering halt, allowing the Nets to take control of the game, and cruise to an eventually easy win. The good news, as painful as the sprain may be, the injury is not ending. Smith will be able to recover without any long-lasting issue. Said coach Rick Carlisle, X-rays were negative. He won't require crutches. I have no timetable at this time. We probably dodged a bullet. I would think HES doubtful for Tuesday, but that's all I know. Added Jr., very relieved. I don't want to say I'm going to be ready for the next game, but they're going to make sure I can get back this for sure. What the injury did do, however, in its own roundabout way, was allow the Mavericks to simply get out of their own way, and absorb the loss they arguably needed to absorb. The defeat at least temporarily moved them below Sacramento, even with Brooklyn and just 3 games ahead of Memphis for the worst record in basketball, and the top lottery odds. Now, in the midst of all of the loss talk, and believe us, it pains us to write about the tankathon on a nightly basis, there were some other positive things that happened on Saturday. Namely the continued resurgence of Dwight Powell and the emergence of Jalen Jones. Powell, who ended the game with 18 points and 5 rebounds on 7 of 10 shooting, was largely the Mavs' best offensive threat outside of Smith, which is something we have seen glimpses of over the last few weeks. Jones, on the other hand, was a major surprise, and a welcome one at that. Jones, a Dallas two-way contract guy who has been a successful grinder with the G League Texas Legends, would finish the game with 16 points and 7 rebounds, 6 of which came on the offensive end of the floor. His hustle and determination, which no doubt came from his desire to prove himself an NBA player, kept the Mavs in the thick of things until the final minutes, when the Nets would ultimately run away. For the Nets, it was the trio of Rondi, Hollis Jefferson, D'Angelo Russell, and DeMar Carroll that would be the Mavs' undoing, with the group combining for 64 points on 24 of 45 shooting. Carroll would also add 12 rebounds while playing some of his trademark lockdown defense in the final minutes, helping to keep the Mavs off at bay down the stretch. The Mavs now have a couple of days off before heading to New Orleans to take Anthony Davis and the Pelicans, and wrapping up this 4-game road trip. Dallas last faced the Pelicans on March 4 at the American Airlines Center, falling 126-109 behind 30 points from Jrue Holiday, and a 23-point, 13-rebound performance from Davis. With 12 games left in the regular, 3 of those games come in direct competition with teams competing for top draft billing in Phoenix, Sacramento and Orlando. With any more luck, the Mavs will find a way to rest the same players as they rested here, to help strengthen their chances in the DeAndre Ayton sweepstakes. Okay, that's up for debate. How about this? With any more luck, the Mavs will avoid serious injury issues, as Junior did here.